Hello everyone, what's happening? Hope you're having an awesome day wherever and whenever you're watching this. I'm your host Ayman Hassan and welcome back to another video here at Most Amazing Top 10. Now I'm actually very excited about this one. I think it's quite a fun one even though it says scary. It's scary but it's fun. Now collecting things is honestly a really fun hobby. I remember when I was a lot younger I used to collect stamps and I had a massive book where I'd put them in their little plastic sleeves and it would just marvel at how cool I was and how great and colourful that they were. I was the epitome of cool, as you can see. But stamp collecting is pretty common and so are doll collections, miniature car collections, but some people collect some pretty weird things. Things that make you think twice about wanting to be their friend. So let's talk about it so we're well aware of those things. This is the top 10 scary collections people actually own. Starting us off at number 10 are pickled punks, and I really wish I was talking about a gross pickled food item, but I'm really not. Now pickled punks is slang for jarred fetuses that used to be displayed at sideshows, and they weren't just normal fetuses, they usually had one type of abnormality or another. And if you're thinking what the hell, great, because so was I. This actually isn't even legal, by the way. CM Christ had a baby freak show that was raided by police back in 1977 and he was charged with the illegal possession of human remains. How do people even get these fetuses? But anyway, since you need a mortician's license to even have human remains, collectors have downgraded themselves to rubber replicas. The replicas are called bouncers because they bounce in the jar and they can cost anywhere from $200 to $65. And if you shake it and it doesn't bounce, it's probably not made of rubber and therefore real, and you should get whoever that was who sold it to you arrested. Coming in at number 9 are corpse tattoos. So apparently if you're a true collector of tattoos, it means they belong to someone else and you have them. Usually these are collections of skin taken from corpses or stained skin which are then preserved in a mummified state in a glass box for easy display, of course. The tattoos are actually mounted in some cases and they're pulled so tight you can see light go through the tattoo puncture holes. That's a lot of stretching. Only a small group of people actually collect these works though, thank God, I guess. The most well-known one is Dr. Katsunari Fukushi, who's in the Japanese Tattoo Institute, which honestly makes it a lot more okay in my opinion. Most of his pieces are from the 20s and 50s, so at least he doesn't have any from this generation, like that massive one here that says no regrets. Regrets? Like we don't need future generations to remember how stupid we were? Thank you, moving on. At number 8 we have murderabilia. I didn't even know that was a word till this video, to be honest, but it means collectibles created by serial killers or related to their murders. Because in their downtime between planning and executing murders, they thought, hey, why not let my creative juices flow? No, I'm just kidding. In prison, wardens encourage these people to pursue creative outlets. The famous clown psychopath John Wayne Gacy actually had a lot of art exhibitions, and cult leader Charles Manson, on the other hand, preferred to make spiders out of yarn and string during his creative time. He even wrote step-by-step instructions on how to make your own Manson-inspired string spider. And if you're interested, page 3 says how you should store the spider in a cool, dry place while feeding it the blood of innocence. People speculate that buyers of murderabilia could just be interested in macabre, but having these collectibles could also give them a sense of power and control. In 2016, George Zimmerman, the man who killed Trayvon Martin for no reason other than race, sold the handgun he used to shoot him for $250,000. Filling our number 7 slot is celebrity hair, and I mean I knew people did this, but I didn't know people legitimately collected stuff like this. That's not even borderline gross, it's just full on gross. But this is actually a thing. The number of serious hair collectors has multiplied immensely in the last decade, from 150 people to now over 2,000. People are speculating that because of DNA research, perhaps they have their hair for cloning purposes in the future, even though I doubt that'll even happen in our lifetime, but hey, it's good to be optimistic. A few strands of JFK's hair was sold for $205, a clump of Che Guevara's hair was sold for $100,000. It's insane and it's lucrative too. John Reznikov, the Guinness World Record holder for his human hair collection, has hair from Napoleon Bonaparte, which I don't even know how he got his hands on, Marilyn Monroe, Einstein, Abraham Lincoln, and not just his hair, some of his brain matter too. But I'm just confused, like how do people actually get this hair? I mean, unless unless you legit go cut it off their head, how can you even prove it's legitimate? I mean, I can cut my hair and say it's Angelina Jolie's, but it's not. Now at number 6 are funeral antiques, where people collect antique funerary objects, I guess. That's what it is. I mean, there are hearse clubs for funeral car enthusiasts, so why shouldn't this be a thing too? Most collectors want stuff like post-mortem photos, whereas others may want lockets containing the hair of the deceased. I mean, it's a broad range, as you can tell. And it was common to have this done in the 19th century when photography was still new and people would dress up their deceased family members and have them photographed to keep their memory around forever. And I mean, I get why people would do that like 200 years ago. If you can finally have a screenshot of someone's face forever, someone who you won't get to see again ever, I get why you do that, but people still collect them now, and mostly when they don't even know the people in the photo, which I just don't even understand. But hey, to each their own, I'm not judging you, you do you. You do you, boo. Coming in at number 5 are love dolls, which is just what I'm gonna call them, even though they're actually just sex dolls. In my opinion, they all look super creepy and fake, but to others it could be their cup of tea, and apparently it is, and by others I mean Bob Gibbons, because Bob has the largest collection of love dolls in the world. He has 240 in his home that he shares with his partner Lizzie, who apparently doesn't even seem to mind the dolls. That's a very chilled out girlfriend. I'd probably be psycho, if I'm honest. He went on to say they actually enjoy dressing the dolls up and taking them on shopping trips. I really don't get this one, and I'm genuinely trying to. And 240, like, where would he even fit them in the house? They're like human sized. Imagine living with 241 other human beings. I mean, I understand people collecting dolls like Barbies and Bratz, and I guess this is a type of doll, so if we look at it that way, I guess I understand, but I also just don't. Let me know if you do, so I can also. At number 4 is Nazi gear, but I feel like this is probably the most well-known collectible on this list, if you can even call it that. Nazi Germany, as we all know, made a hell of a lot of wartime paraphernalia. Ornamental knives, swastika arm and headbands, probably even swastika bed sheets, who knows. Brand image was definitely on point. But since World War II, the market for these goods has expanded tremendously, and contrary to popular belief, it's not just neo-Nazis who are buying this stuff, which is scary. That's the scary part of this video. History buffs are big on it, and of course antique collectors as well. But with some people, the obsession with Nazi gear is bordering a fetish, like someone even bought Eva Braun's negligee. Eva was Hitler's wife, just by the way if you didn't know. Thankfully, eBay now refuses to sell Nazi memorabilia, and Yahoo is actually sued for selling Hitler's speech notes. Honestly, serves you right, Yahoo. Filling our number 3 slot are toenail clippings, because don't we all love a bit of the hose? I don't exactly get it, and I feel like with most of the stories I read, there's not really a cause or a why behind it. It usually just starts off as a hobby and then turns into something more. Like Richard Gibson, for example, he's been saving his toenails for the last 36 years. He said initially one day when he was clipping them, he just decided to keep them in a manicure box instead of throw them away just for fun. Then he thought to himself, I wonder how long it'll take to fill the box. It took him 2 years, and by that point he was already hooked. He moved his collection to a larger glass jar, and I expect he'll move them into a glass tank when this one is full too. Like, this is an extremely common thing. A lot of people do this, and I did not know this. Maybe it's because of the satisfaction you get when you accumulate them and they're all from your body, like they're yours, you made them. I honestly couldn't tell you why, I'm just lying at this point. Now at number 2 are genital casts, and the pictures I saw for this one when reading about it were quite funny, I'm not even gonna lie. And it's not a hidden thing, you guys. Genital casts have been produced since the 60s. We were crazy back then, evidently. Even Jimi Hendrix and Frank Zappa got their own moldings done and now are immortalized forever for all their adoring fans. The world's biggest collector of these is a woman called Cynthia Alberton, aka Cynthia Plasticaster. She sounds like the next Marvel superhero, I swear. She would literally travel to different hotels with this plater, and after her assistant readied the subjects, she'd start the process. Okay, I don't even want to imagine or know what she means by readied the subjects. And it's obviously not just for celebrities, normal people do it all the time as well. Girls and guys alike, we can all cast our thingies if we really wanted to. They range from $200 to $500 if you wanted to make one yourself. Actually, funny story, when I was in my last year of high school, around Valentine's Day, I saw a bunch of random adverts for giving your significant other a box of chocolates, but the chocolates were made in molds of your butthole. You could literally get your butthole molded and then give that to someone in edible form as a Valentine's Day gift. First of all, lol. Second of all, I'm pretty sure I've said the word butthole more than any other host on this channel now. Damn it, I really don't want to be known for this. And finally, at number 1 is belly button fluff, and yes, that is the correct scientific term for it, I'm sure. I can't believe this is a thing, it's actually hilarious. Like, isn't belly button fluff mostly just like cloth fiber or dust or like dead skin? How can you even collect it? I feel like this is such a dad thing. The only people I ever see having belly button fluff are dads. And I guess people with like outie belly buttons are screwed that way because nothing can really collect in there because, you know, there's no proper crevice. Okay, this is way too TMI and I'm really going off track. Anyway, the man of the hour is Graham Barker, who has the world's largest collection of belly button fluff ever. It's over 21 grams and it's all homegrown. Thank you, Graham, for that detail. He started collecting it in 1984 and just hasn't stopped since. And when I saw the picture, he had 3 bottles and they all contained different colors of belly button fluff. And I'm just like, how are they colored now? And that's it for today's video, guys. I honestly hope you enjoyed this one and had a bit of a laugh, because I honestly did, I'm not gonna lie. Let me know if you collect anything on this list. I swear I won't judge you, and if you don't and you collect something else, let me know as well. As always, I'm your host, Eamon Hassan, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!